What's up guys, Stanley here back with another video. If we're going to start off the new year strong, what better way to start than getting your finances in check? That's why today we have a very fun special video because I'll be going through my expenses for the month of January just to give a little perspective on how much someone like me spends in a month living alone in the city of Toronto. Now, I've been tracking my expenses for a very long time and I've also been living alone for almost 4 years. So I have a very good understanding of where my money is going, whether I'm overspending or underspending for certain categories. Now, I've always loved watching these kind of videos on YouTube because it's really interesting to see what people spend their hard-earned money on. So that's why I wanted to share my expenses with you today, and I hope you guys enjoy. Timestamps will be linked down below. Let's get started. All right, guys, so our first category is going to be our main essentials. The first one is also going to be the most expensive one, and that is rent. I rent and I pay $1,910 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 1 den, and with a parking spot and also a locker. Now, this is below market rate. If I was to rent a similar size unit in the same area, it's going to run me $2,400 to $2,600 a month. So if I was to move out and find a new place, I will be forking out at least $500 extra a month. Next, we have electricity bill. So last month I paid $80.96. Now, there's really nothing I can do to lower this because it's sort of random. It's just different every month. But for the month of January, I really only used $35 worth of electricity, and the other $45 went to delivery fees and taxes. So that's a bit of a scam. Tenant insurance, I pay $13.46. Cell phone, that is $32.77. Now, I think this is as low as it can get. I have really no issues with this one. I think it's pretty reasonable. But for internet, I actually pay $67.80. So I think this is a bit high, but I'm very picky with my providers. Some are better than others, and I mainly work from home, so I really need fast and reliable internet. So $67.80, I think that's fair. Last but not least, we have car insurance. So car insurance, I pay $196.18. Now, this is sort of considered high because I have a 15-year driving record, no accidents, no nothing. And the reason why it's this high is because there's been a lot of carjackings and a lot of accidents in the area. And I just happen to drive a top 10 most stolen vehicle in Ontario. So I'm sure that's why the price is that high. But $196 covers pretty much everything, collision and full comprehensive. Meaning if I get into an accident or someone steals my car, I would be covered. Now, adding it all up, total for the essentials is $2,301.17. So $2,000 just to keep a roof over my head. That's a bit crazy. All right, guys, let's talk about food next. So for the month of January, I spent $553.36 on groceries. Now, this is a bit high because normally I really spend around $400 a month on groceries, but I actually went on vacation in the month of December, and before I left, I ate everything in the fridge, including the freezer. So that month I had to pretty much stock everything back up for the freezer and the fridge. But normally I really just spend around $400 a month. Next, we have eating out. So eating out, I spent $383.89. Now, that is a lot of money for eating out. That's almost close to $400. So that's definitely something I need to work on. But we actually had friends from out of town come visit us. So we took her to a bunch of restaurants, and that obviously quickly adds up. And also the federal government is giving a tax incentive to eat at restaurants, tax-free. So maybe that also contributed to close to $400 a month eating out. Next, there's a category that's separate on its own, and that is coffee beans. I spent $65 on coffee beans. Um, this is a separate category on its own because I just spent so much money on coffee. Last year, I spent $850 on coffee beans alone, and that is just coffee beans for pour over at home, making a cup of coffee every morning, not including going out to different cafes. Now, if I spend $65 each month, I am on track to meet $850 a year again. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Um, I just wake up every morning and I look forward to drinking a nice cup of coffee. Um, good coffee is very expensive, and you're looking at roughly anywhere from $3 to $7 a cup. And if you're drinking more than one cup, it's going to add up very quickly. So $65, I think that's reasonable. But let me know down below if that is reasonable or not. But this is something I truly enjoy every morning. So I'm tracking this expense very closely just to see how much I actually end up spending. So add it all up, for food, we spent $1,002.25. All right, guys, next we have transportation costs. So for the month of January, I spent $99.51 on gas for my car. Now, this is pretty much in line with the expected cost, around $100. Winter gas is a bit cheaper than summer gas, and I mainly work from home, so I'm saving a bit of money on that. But if it was the summertime, you would be looking at closer to $120 to $150 just because summer gas is more expensive. And it's the summertime, so you tend to want to drive the car more, go on longer road trips and whatnot. Next, we have car maintenance. So that was $55.92. Nothing happened to the car. I include car washes as part of maintenance. It is winter here in Toronto, and they salt the roads like crazy, and also it's been snowing a lot, so the car gets dirty very quickly. So it's best that you wash your car pretty frequently to get rid of the salt. $55, that's not every month, but that's that. Next, we have Uber and public transit costs. So for the month of January, I spent $81.12. So I actually didn't spend $80 on Uber, but I bought a gift card for $80 that gives you $100 worth of credit. I usually buy these gift cards because you do save at least 20%. And then that way, when I'm downtown and I want to take an Uber, I don't want to take public transit, I'm able to do that and save more money at the same time. And then last but not least, we have parking. I only paid parking once, and now it's $10 parking downtown. So total for all of this is $246.25. All right, next up we have our everything category, also fun category. First one up, we have household supplies, and that I spent $158.98. So this is a bit high, but that's because I buy everything in bulk when it's on sale at Costco. So this is from everything from shampoo, hand soap, Lysol wipes, cleaning products, everything like that. So I'm pretty much stocked up for the home, and this would probably easily last me, probably half a year if I'm being honest. So this expense is not every single month. Next up, clothing. So I spent $71.02. I don't really buy clothing every single month, but January I spent $71. Next, we have furniture. I spent $175.40 at IKEA. Again, this doesn't happen every month. I don't buy furniture every month, but I picked up a shoe rack and bench for my front door, and also a little lamp and also some planters for my plants. And again, this is not every single month. This is just for January. Next, we sort of have entertainment, books and magazines. I spent $70.18. And work stationery, I bought a notebook just to write my notes and thoughts. That was $36.10. And then personal development, I am taking a course. I bought an online course, and that was $189 for a grand total of everything added up together, $700.68. All right, last but not least, we have subscriptions. So I try to keep this category as low as possible, but the first one on the list is pretty much mandatory for me. I pay Apple's iCloud storage, and that comes in at $4.51. Next up, we have YouTube Premium. So I pay for this for my entire family, and that is $21.65 a month. And then lastly, we have Spotify. I am on a family plan. That is $3.95 a month. And all three added together is a total of $30.11. All right, guys, it's time to reveal the grand total of how much I spent for the month of January. So for the month of January, I spent a total of $4,280.76. Now, that is a lot of money, don't get me wrong. There's definitely things I could definitely improve on. But at the same time, I know some of those expenses are not every month, it's just a couple of months. But ultimately, I think the takeaway here is it's very important that you track your expenses. Honestly, I was kind of shocked seeing how I spent $4,000 in 1 month. It is a lot of money. And if you're looking to move out on your own, if you're in Toronto and you want to live alone, I say you need at least $5,000 a month after taxes, which equates to about $85,000 a year. Now, obviously that number changes when there's other variables involved, like if you have a roommate, that essentially splits your cost in half. Or if you don't own a car, you're saving a couple $100s there. But if you really want your own freedom and you want your own space and really just to live life a little bit, and I say absolutely you need a minimum of $85,000 a year. I hate to say it, but life is expensive in this city. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up right here. If you have any questions or want me to clarify on something, leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me and I really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.